Welcome to another explainer. So, what if I told you that the whole grinds mentality, the endless hours and that relentless hustle culture we've literally all been sold, might actually be the exact thing holding your business back? Today, we are completely tearing down some of the most deeply ingrained beliefs in the corporate world. We're going to explore exactly why strategy consistently beats hard work, drawing on 2 decades of incredible insights from the experts at Rasta Infotech. All right, let's get ready to shift that paradigm.
It feels a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? Is hard work actually holding you back? I mean, from day one, we're taught that sheer effort is the absolute key to success. But what happens when brute force just isn't cutting it anymore? If you've ever felt like you're running at top speed on a treadmill but getting absolutely nowhere in your market, well, this explainer is exactly for you. We need to transition from just using brute force to using deliberate strategy. Section 1, the hard work illusion. Dismantling the grind. There's this really convenient, widely accepted lie out there that logging long hours automatically equals achievement. But the empirical truth, it shows us a completely different reality, which is that working smart is what actually drives success. The research highlights that strategy, timing, and leverage matter so much more than just sheer effort. Basically, it's not about how many hours you log, it's about the strategic leverage you're applying during those hours. And if you need hard proof that hard work has a ceiling, just look at the number 55. Research actually shows that top performers rarely exceed 55 hours of work a week. Why? Because right after that 55-hour mark, your productivity doesn't just taper off, it drops sharply. It's a cliff. This definitively proves that sheer effort has a hard, undeniable limit. You literally cannot outwork a bad strategy, no matter how many nights you spend sleeping under your desk. We see this exact same illusion pop up in the world of entrepreneurship too. We're constantly sold this myth that starting a business brings instant freedom, right? It's a great story for a movie, but let's be real, the reality paints a much different picture. Entrepreneurship is a long haul filled with setbacks. True freedom isn't instant. It comes gradually, and only after you've endured those setbacks to build sustainable systems and actually scale effectively. Section 2, working smarter in the market. Strategy beats superior products. Now, just like personal hard work isn't enough, simply having a quote-unquote superior product does not guarantee market dominance. Time and time again, we see that an average product, paired with a superior strategy, one that masters distribution, branding, and timing, will absolutely win the market share. If your highly innovative product isn't marketed and positioned effectively, someone else with a better strategic rollout is going to take the lead every single time. So the true winner here is your go-to market strategy. When you combine your innovation with a really comprehensive plan that emphasizes distribution, branding, and timing, you create this strategic engine that completely outpaces raw product quality alone. It's the difference between building something great in a vacuum and building something great that people actually find, buy, and love. Section 3, strategic growth engines, moving beyond brute force. Let's look at search engine optimization, for example. The persistent myth is that SEO is just a quick technical trick or some one-time task that gets you instant results. The reality? Well, it's a long-term strategic investment. It requires consistent optimization, ongoing content creation, and steady link building. Businesses that treat SEO as a brute force, one-off task are completely missing out on sustainable growth. Similarly, talent acquisition requires a smart strategy, not just throwing money at job boards. Take modern apprenticeships. There's this stubborn myth that they're just fallback options for school leavers. But the reality is they provide advanced industry-specific skills, they're super valuable for professionals at any stage of their career, and they create incredibly cost-effective talent pipelines. It is a highly strategic way to build your workforce from the ground up. Section 4, the psychology of the grind, why myths persist. So why do we keep falling for this? We can sequentially break down the psychology keeping businesses stuck in this brute force mentality. Step 1 is convenience. Simplified narratives, like just work harder, are just way easier to sell than complex strategic plans. Step 2 is the lack of testing. People accept things as facts without actually checking them. And step 3 is the echo chamber effect. This convenient, untested advice just gets repeated endlessly without any scrutiny. And the crucial point here is this staggering figure, 67%. According to the data, a massive 67% of so-called industry best practices are never actually empirically validated.
Let that sink in for a second. More than two-thirds of the rules businesses follow blindly have never actually been scientifically proven to work. They're just myths bouncing around that echo chamber, masquerading as gospel.
Section 5, the data-driven strategic edge, the Rasta Infotech solution. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we break free from that 67% of untested advice? Well, first, you have to deliver data-driven insights instead of relying on generic advice. Second, you need to educate and engage your audience over the long term, like by building SEO-optimized content designed for real retention. And finally, you have to design digital transformation strategies that align with actual real-world challenges, not just hypothetical scenarios.
It all really boils down to this fantastic perspective. Debunking myths isn't just about correcting falsehoods, it's about empowering businesses to make informed decisions. When you strip away the illusion of the 55-hour grind or the myth of the superior product, you are left with clarity. And that clarity is exactly what allows you to execute strategies that drive truly measurable success.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with one vital question to evaluate your own path forward. Are you just working hard, or are you actually working smart? Are you relying on sheer effort, or are you leveraging strategy, timing, and empirical data to scale sustainably? Take a hard look at your daily operations. Make sure you aren't just running on a treadmill. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack these insights, and here's to building a smarter strategy for your future.